Welcome back, Wayward Souls of the Double Tap In, episode 22.
Flying along.
Yeah, you got to do the wow. That's your thing.
Oh, shit, I forgot. Yeah, I told you it was a rough morning. I was
I
up
know.
most
I
of
know.
the
That's why I'm
night.
here.
I'm a little off.
Yeah. All right, hang
Wow.
on. Okay. Thanks. I feel better now. Now I'm ready to start. So, pre-show, we were talking, just kind of get our thoughts together. Both of us had late nights. So just trying to get our shit together, which, just like any other show, this is going to be all over the place. So don't expect anything different.
That's right.
But I made the comment, we haven't done an airing of the grievances in a while. And I think the last one that we did was an airing of gratitude, not a grievance.
It was. That is correct.
So yeah, we got to do an airing of the grievances. We got to empty that bucket of shit and see what's going on. Get that out there.
Yeah. It's I'm trying to think how to phrase this appropriately. But we're in a society now where people don't get punched in the face enough. They feel like they need to sit behind a keyboard and bang out a big, long dissertation about something that they feel is a perceived wrong. A friend of mine did it the other day. He saw a vehicle parked in the fire lane at a local strip mall, took a picture of the vehicle, and went straight to social media and posted it. And sent me a text that said, I'm really going to piss people off or something like that. So I immediately go to his social media. I see it. And you know me, I'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
I told him, I said, you need to take it down. I said, I know what they're doing there. And it is a crisis situation. And they are there picking up supplies. And you don't need to stir up a bunch of shit over nothing. This organization does a great job. They have stellar people working for them. And they don't need any drama right now. While he wasn't happy with the fact they were doing it, there was calls for pause, and he took it down. And I went on. We're roughly the same age. And I said, what happened to you? The dude that I got to be friends with a long time ago would have walked into the store and gone, what the fuck? Why are you parked in the fire lane? Especially after our local police department posted about that particular fire lane literally the day before.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't you just walk in and be you? I've known you a long time. That's how you are. And again, calls for pause. He said, I don't know why. Folks, social media is a downfall.
Oh.
If you have a question, for God's sake, don't ask a Facebook group because you're going to get 700 answers. None of them are going to be correct. Some of them are going to be absolute satire. And it's best just to pick up the phone. I'm in a Lang smoker group. Everybody asks the same questions over and over and over. It's maddening. And half their questions, no, all of their questions could be answered by simply picking up the telephone and calling the company and saying, hi, Mr. Lang. His name is Ben, by the way.
Love it. Strong name.
And listen, he answers the freaking phone. If he's got two of the nicest ladies that answer the phone typically, and you can tell I've called a few times.
Mm-hmm.
If they're busy, he'll answer the phone. And that's customer service, by the way. That's pride and ownership, the whole 9 yards. He's no bullshit. But these folks don't have enough common sense anymore to pick up the telephone and ask the damn question. They would rather sit on the computer and bang out a 4-paragraph, how they were wrong. They did this, it touched me here, it did this. I'm going to have PTSD now because they parked in the fucking fire lane, all that horse shit. Folks, you need to get your shit together and you need to be punched in the fucking face more. That'll fix that shit. Oh my God.
Yeah. The things that I do appreciate is some of the groups that I'm in is the people like you, and I don't mean this, obviously I don't mean this in a bad way, but people like you that post the sarcastic comments.
Mm-hmm.
Or post the comments that's like, I bet if you'd have scrolled up 3 posts, you'd have seen the answer to that question before you even needed to ask it.
Yep.
Like that kind of shit. I just truly enjoy. And
or learn how to use the fucking group search bar.
Yeah.
That little magnifying glass up in the right corner is there for a reason. It searches the group. If you type in picanha in the smoking group, you're going to see every fucking comment ever made in that group about picanha.
Yeah.
Folks, it's Facebook. It ain't fucking rocket science.
Right.
You're not going to the moon with this shit.
Right. Unless you're searching
stuff
for rocket science, and then you might.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah. You're also probably going to find a bunch of other shit that has nothing to do with rocket science. Correct. But you'll laugh your ass off.
Yep, that is a fact. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. Fuck.
There's been a couple times I wanted to create a trolling account just to go on and do that kind of shit.
You mean Mitch doesn't have one?
No, Mitch does not have one. Mitch, Mitch doesn't even have a social media account. He, yeah. But, just sometimes you see that,
like me texting you this morning, I forgot Mitch existed until this morning.
That's funny.
Oh, God bless. Yeah.
Maybe another show we'll have to have Mitch on.
Yeah, that's a hell of an idea. I like it.
Yeah, we'll do a little interview with Mitch, see if he's busy. I haven't talked to Mitch in a while. It's been a minute, but our friend from Australia. So,
man,
what's funny is that coming about the keyboard warriors and all that kind of stuff, and I think we talked in a previous episode about our friend that works at SU, and how he's seen a decline in the in-person. Well, they're not. I don't think you can have a not in-person social gathering from the students, but those social gatherings, the day drinks, the big parties that they have, and that they just don't have them anymore. And a lot of that came from COVID when they weren't allowed to. But then it's this generation of kids that they don't want to get together. They can't handle it. And that they sit behind the computer and post on social media and they do God knows what instead of going out. And what I'm going to say is going to be interesting. But they don't go out and they don't drink. They don't do drugs. They don't do the stupid shit that we did as kids. And I'm not saying I did a lot of stupid shit. I did stupid shit, but not,
an average amount. Not a lot of stupid shit.
Yeah, like an appropriate amount of stupid shit, which you need to go out and do that. And to get that life experience, to be able to cope with the world, because you know what? It's not fair. There's not a safe place everywhere. It's not shit is not always going to go your way. And your response cannot be to go fire off a nasty email, because your supervisors are probably more like Hickman and hopefully someday like me, where we just don't give a shit. I'm sorry your feelings got hurt, but this is the real world and you're going to have to deal with it.
Yep. Or you're moving on.
Yeah. And it's like, I think some of that generation not going to those types of events, those day drinks, those parties, is a big part of it. Like
Yeah.
they don't get that social experiment on some
They,
level.
they forget,
Somebody
or they never
make a
knew how
stupid
to
comment.
communicate. They
Yeah.
don't know how to communicate with one another, or let alone someone else.
Yeah.
And I saw it when I was FTOing,
Mm-hmm.
and you go from uh, folks who have had a little bit of life experience all the way down to this is the first job they've ever had. And
Mm-hmm.
it's the first job they ever had. They're probably in that video game era where they spent more time with the headset on playing a video game than they were going to the mall or going to wherever and meeting up with
Mm-hmm.
their friends and doing that. So they lack a certain social skill called communication.
Mm-hmm.
And because they're used to saying whatever they want in a headset, playing a game and whatnot, instead of that one-on-one, face-to-face interaction. And it showed. I had, I don't know, 3 or 4 that were in that generation of the video game generation, and it took some doing to get them to have a communication, just a basic communication skill, how to address someone in a normal circumstance, let alone a crisis circumstance.
Oh yeah.
So, they're not playing Call of Duty out there, and they can't say
Yeah.
some of the shit that they've said over a headset, because in the real world you will get punched in the face.
Yeah. Yeah. I worked with this kid last night, and for a while he was my partner, and then things changed up again, and he got moved to a different station, and now I work with Ian most of the time, but Ian was off, a whole bunch of shit going on, and so I get working with this kid, and I absolutely love him. I think we've talked about him before. He's my Noah, and he's 22, his first real job, and there's some things where it's like, hey, this is how you do this. We talk about our paid time off. Hey buddy, you got to watch this. You don't want to lose time. You never give time back that you're given, right? So use it somehow. Do this, don't do that. And then there's like certain life things that we talk about that like he's just not experienced it.
Mm-hmm.
He's half my age, and he's talking about this. I was like, man, I don't want to say I've been there before, but I've seen something similar to that, and you don't want to do that. So
Yeah.
last night we go and pick up this patient who was 18, 19, 20. So really just a few years younger than my little buddy. And this patient they're on another level. They've had a great time in Ocean City. And they're just in another place. And to listen to him talk to this patient on the way to the hospital, imparting his life lessons to them, was absolutely hysterical. Some of the shit that he was saying, I was like, I'm driving in the ambulance, and I just like, I can't turn my head to all the way turn around and look back at him. But it's like, did he really just say that? Like, my buddy is back here imparting life lessons to this person, and I was like, this is so ironic, because we've had similar conversations in the front of the ambulance, and it was just the two of us. So it was cool to see that, because sometimes you're like, man, is this fucking kid learning anything? And then you
listen to him and you go,
he is.
He retained.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unlike my little buddy Noah.
Yeah. Yeah. If only he knew where a good recipe was for some rub.
Oh, God bless. Yeah. So this has popped in my head. You mentioned COVID earlier. And do you know what COVID ruined for me?
Just about everything.
Legends Lunch.
Oh.
Yeah. So for folks listening who don't know what Legends Lunch was, 2 folks from Ocean City who were on shift, and I'm trying to think who they were. It escapes me. Ben and Kimmy, and they decided to organize a luncheon periodically for the retired folks from Ocean City.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, that was a lot of fucking fun.
That was a great time.
It was. And COVID, of course, stuck their big dick into everything and fucked everything up. But that was a good time. You got to sit down with 300 and some years of experience. Of course, 200 of that was Fisher's, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
And it was like going back in time, what station life was before, because I think we all reverted back to our old personalities at that time.
Oh my gosh.
It was just a good time.
Yeah. Those were great times. So I was still working at the school at the time.
Yeah.
And part-time in Ocean City. And it was really just an excuse to see my friends that still work or recently retired from Ocean City. And then as word spread, like it just grew. And it was an excuse for me to get out. But originally it was me, Kimmy, and TK, because he was working in Snow Hill.
Yeah.
And we would go at lunch. And then Holloway was working in Snow Hill. So it was the four of us. And then it just kind of like it took off. Like it was, it was a blast. And people still, like if you talk to TK, and I don't talk to Holloway much, but like you, Trevor, it's always, hey, if you ever do that again, let me know. I'm in.
Yep.
I'm there.
Well, and that's something I was getting ready to say. I think TK would drive up.
Oh, absolutely.
From Virginia Beach. I think if we had enough planning, Trevor would show up.
Oh, absolutely. They have both said that. Like if you guys ever plan something, as soon as you know the details, let us know, and we will do everything that we can to be there.
100%, 2 hours of pure comedy.
Oh my gosh! And I felt so bad for the people, like our servers. Holy cow! They got a great tip. In all honesty, like the people that were coming to this lunch were the kind of people that like you're gonna earn your money, you're gonna laugh, you're gonna have a great time.
Yep.
Like we're not hard people to deal with. We're gonna give you a hard time, lighthearted hard time. And at the end of it, like you're gonna walk away with more than your average tip.
Yes.
And it was oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to work on that today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna set one up.
Yeah. It was definitely a good time. And you mentioned COVID and that airing of the grievances, COVID. Yep. That was one of the biggest things. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's shit.
Yeah. But like we talked about, one of the nice things that COVID brought about was to-go drinks.
Yeah.
That was a plus. Probably the only one. Actually, I tell you what, the other cool thing, and this is only a small population will understand this, but if you had a baby during COVID, and not like right at the beginning, but like a little bit into it when they started like figuring it out a little bit, instead of everybody and their brother and the whole family being able to come into the delivery room, which I don't know why you would have everybody in your fucking family come into the delivery room.
Right.
But so Harper was born during COVID, and Rachel was allowed one other person in the room for the whole time. Not like one person at a time. It was one person.
Period. Yep.
And when we were having Lincoln, it was, I think it was open. Like they didn't care. But we told everybody it will be one person the entire time when we're ready. So my parents came down the night before he was born, and they stayed with him. I came home. We went over to the hospital, and like the next day, that morning they came over and met him, and some other friends came over and met him. But it was in talking with the nursing staff when Harper was born, they're like, "This is fantastic. they would tell some stories
yeah.
of like whole families coming in, and like the dad or like somebody in the back with a camera recording the whole thing. Like, why the fuck do you want to see that? When the fuck are you going to play that again? Oh yeah, here's you being born.
Every
There's your
birthday.
mother and just getting blown up. Like, what the fuck is that? Who thought that was a good idea? But yeah, the nurses like were fantastic. They were so. We had the night before Harper was born. We had a very experienced, very senior nurse. She was, I think she said she was pregnant with her third, and was absolutely fantastic. The next morning, we had a new nurse for the unit that, like, she was still in her process of like getting checked off for skills and all this kind of stuff, and she did a great job. Like, she was the one that was actually in there when Harper was born, but you could tell, like, she would come in, she would do an assessment, she'd come back out, she'd come back in. The other nurse that was mentoring her would come in, they would do something, and like ultimately delivered the baby or delivered Harper, and did a fantastic job. And I'm glad it was us as opposed to like some other family of like, you don't know what you're doing. Like,
Yeah.
no, everybody has their first day. Fucking relax.
One
But
of my favorite lines on the ambulance.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's my first time in an ambulance. Oh, me too.
I pulled that on some lady last night.
Yep. Then they get all wide-eyed. I'm
Like,
serious. I just graduated. This is my first call. I'm so happy. Thank you for calling 911.
Yeah. Yeah. But so that was I would say that was one other takeaway from COVID that we appreciated.
Yeah. So you're married to a long-haired woman. I'm married to a long-haired woman.
Mm-hmm.
You ever just find random hairs wrapped around your body parts at 3:00 in the morning?
Yeah.
We've been together now 18 years, 19 years, or whatever it is. She's had long hair the entire time. And I'm still amazed when I get up and go to the bathroom that I have extra hair wrapped around things that shouldn't be wrapped around. And then you go to pull it and it just pulls tight.
Yeah. What the fuck is that? Yeah. How's it tied in the noose?
How'd it get there?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I want. How'd it get there?
Yeah. What's funny is Sam, the dog's hair, doesn't stick to my clothes. For whatever reason, have had her 14, 15, 16 years, something like that, does not stick to my clothes at all. Rachel, everybody else's clothes, like, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
You all have a dog. Yes, we do.
Yes. But Rachel and Harper's hair, like, all over my clothes.
Yeah.
It's like how you pull it out, and it's like weaved into the fibers of my clothes. I don't get it.
Yeah, we have a dual sink in the new bathroom. New bathroom is coming up on being done 2 years. Dual sink bathroom, his and hers. Which side of the sink drains slowest? Mine.
Yeah.
Why, you might ask? Because apparently Jennifer sits next to my sink and does her hair.
Why don't you sit on her side?
I don't know, because she has a power plug too. I don't have any idea. I guess it's just proximity and comfort.
Maybe the lighting's better.
Yeah, I'm sure the lighting's better. I'm sure that's what it is. But my sink, I'll run hers. Everything's fine, good to go. I run mine. Nope. Mm-hmm. 8 feet of hair in it. Yeah. And trust me, I don't want a short-haired woman. I prefer long hair. So these are the things that we have to sacrifice as men.
Yep.
To appease our long-haired women.
Yeah. Our hallway bathroom, the sink always slows up, but that's because of the shaving cream. like from me shaving.
Yeah.
So that's like, but yeah, you know what drives me absolutely nuts, and I'm pretty confident that Rachel doesn't listen to the show. And if she does, sorry, babe, I still love you. But when she washes her hair, and then she pulls like all the extra hair that falls out,
dude.
Do you know where she puts that shit? We got a little bench in the shower.
Yep.
It's not uncommon to find a ball
Same
of
thing.
hair that, yeah,
Same
or
thing.
on the fucking wall.
Yep.
Like we're not checking pasta to see if it's fucking done.
Yep.
What are we doing?
Again, new bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Had Corey, my tile guy, put a foot shelf in, just in one little corner, so just a little teeny tiny shelf. Jennifer put her foot up on it. She's shaving, all that kind of stuff. Good to go. That's exactly where the hair goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'll go in. Yep. Look, well, I know what she did. She swiped everything up and put it up there and forgot it. Yep. I got you, honey. Don't worry about it. It won't be there when you come home. You'll even forget it ever existed.
Yeah. And I don't know what it is about that, but it creeps me out.
Yeah.
Like I can't pick it up with my fingers. I always use like a tissue, some toilet paper, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Creeps me out. I don't know what it is about it. Yeah.
It's been there a while. It's a little soap slimy. Maybe, but
yeah. Yeah. We have, like I said, a whole fucking seat in ours that's probably the most structurally sound part of the house when I built that. It's 2x4s, concrete board, tile. Like this bitch ain't going. Like if there's a tornado coming through Salisbury,
getting under the shelf.
Wrap yourself around this bench. Yeah, it's legit. My dad was here when I was building it. He's like, "That's it's really not going anywhere, is it?" Nope.
Building it to last forever because you never know what's going to happen on that bench.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. And you said Rachel may or may not listen to the podcast. I know that Jennifer doesn't on her own, but every morning after a new release, I watch it. Because, traumatic brain injury, I'm not going to remember half an hour from now what we talked about this episode. I mean, it's just a fact of life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there listening, and Jennifer go, "Oh, that's a good point." Or why'd you say that? So I know she's listening because she's sitting on the sofa in the morning when I'm playing it. So yeah, I said it because I have no fucking filter.
Yeah. My bad.
You married it. Bless her heart.
Yeah. Well, folks, that wraps up our time for right now. So thanks for joining. We hope you enjoy the show. A return, the airing of the grievances, followed by our ADHD, and really just going wherever it goes.
How we want.
Yeah. We did get our first email to the Wayward Soles 88@gmail.com. So thank you. It was from Dale. It was after the rice episode. Thanks, Dale, for reaching out. I actually made rice today. We're doing fried rice on the Blackstone tonight. So it actually turned out okay too. So I'm excited.
What'd you do different?
So I apologize, Dale. I appreciate the email. I didn't follow your recommendations. I will next time. So one of Dale's comments was, "You've never seen a Chinese place without a rice cooker. Like you just got to get a rice cooker." I was like, "Well, I have an Instapot. Like I know it's not the same, but it's like
close.
It's also a fucking rice cooker." And so I did a Google search because Google knows everything, and found it was labeled as the best jasmine rice Instapot recipe. I was like, fuck it. It can't be worse than what I'm already doing. So I did that, and it actually turned out really well. Like it was you rinse the rice, which like nowhere, like sometimes it says you rinse it, sometimes you don't, whatever. And then cut back the amount of water that we used. And other than that, it was 5 minutes on high with a 10-minute rest and take it out. So
There you
Dale's
go.
recommendation, which I 100% love, is put a little coconut oil in there,
Yep.
tablespoon per cup.
Yeah, I saw that. Yep.
Yeah, that is. I'm a big fan of the coconut inspired rice foods, all that kind of shit, like the chicken and lime, chili lime chicken, all that kind of lime and coconut rice, all that kind of shit. So that the coconut in the rice will happen again. We've used coconut milk before,
Mm-hmm.
and that was right tasty. So, but that'll be making an appearance. So, so thanks, Dale, for sending me the email, even though I didn't follow it. But we have some successful rice.
That's what matters.
Yeah. So that's exciting. But if you guys have something for us, waywardsouls88@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Keep blowing up our phones. Keep texting us, emailing us, calling us. Our social medias, even though we've just bitched about the social media warriors, send us something through there if you want to see something or want to hear something. We love the feedback. We love your interaction. So yeah, let us know what you're thinking and what we can do next. Our list is constantly growing, and we love that. It keeps the shit interesting. So, with that,
next episode, we're going to discuss: should you buy a whole cow? Don't know. Should you buy half? Should you buy a quarter? Or should you just buy primals? We're going to discuss it.
Yeah. So join us next time when we're talking about different cuts of meat.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon.